Welcome back in on Stark Media Live, everybody. I'm TJ Downing, and I'm now joined here inside the Cecchini Center on the campus of Walsh University with newly appointed athletic director Nate Cochran and also newly appointed strength and conditioning guy here for the football team. And I'm sure you're doing some other sports as well.
Yeah, actually why I came here was to be the throws coach for track and field, and then I actually started with football in January.
Now you're double dipping, man. That's perfect. You know, you're versatile, right? Yeah. So I got my guy over here, Tom Bojalad, and really I guess it's we can say we're introducing you guys not only to the North Canton area, the Stark County area, Northeast Ohio, the state of Ohio, the entire GMAC, all of NCAA Division II. You know, you guys are coming in here with important things on your mind when it comes to athletics, and that's why we're in here in this beautiful weight room. We're going to talk here in a little bit with you, Nate. I know that you guys are trying to get somebody. We're looking for a sponsor. We're looking for naming rights on this, yes. And that's available to not only all the donors that have helped here before, but anybody out there looking to put your business, put your family name, foundation, whatever it may be. This beautiful facility in here that Tom is now working out of, you can't beat it. So this is going to help the Walsh Cavalier athletic programs, all of them, kind of take it up to the next level. But first, let's get you, Nate. I mean, Coach Fank told me on the last episode that we did that there wouldn't be any math, but I'm trying to do it here. You're on the job now, what, 6 months?
6 months. Been here 6 months and loving it. So, you know, new to Northeast Ohio. Been in the Midwest before, but and even worked in NCAA Division II, but this is my first athletic director job in the NCAA Division II. I was athletic director in the NAIA twice.
Okay. Now, you played your ball down at South Carolina State?
I did. I started out at the United States Air Force Academy, graduated from the prep school, and transferred to South Carolina State University because I didn't want that military life anymore. So I loved the Air Force, but it was I thought that I was going to the NFL. Some of us are not that blessed, though. So
yeah, same boat. I'm raising my hand over here. Tell us a little bit more about your career, though, at South Carolina State. You know, talk about what position you played. I know that you and I had a chance to really chop it up a lot over there when the girls lacrosse team, the ladies lacrosse, won that GMAC championship.
That was awesome,
right?
Too.
That was a great vibe there on campus. Beautiful day. Beautiful new facilities.
Yes.
You've got the William and Kathleen Brockler press box. You've got Larry Stout Field. This is a thriving campus. But we want to know a little bit more about your history out on that football field, man. Were you a hitter? Were you a coverage guy? Were you a runner?
No, I was a running back. I was actually a fullback. I was a guard in the backfield. So in all of my college career, I've got 4 carries for 20 yards. I averaged 5 yards a carry. I'm in the NCAA stat book, but I was a guard in the backfield. So
I feel like you and I just got a lot closer because I'm an OG myself. I'm a guard myself, man. So we just got a little closer.
Look, I was that ISO back. I was that power back, and I had a thick neck roll and a cowboy collar inside the neck roll, and I tried to look as swole as humanly possible. You know, I had 2 great tailbacks that played behind me, Derek O'Neill and Kenny Bynum actually played behind me, and a couple other good guys that ended up getting a chance to play in the league a little bit. But you know, just had a great experience at South Carolina State playing fullback under Coach Willie Jeffries, and fell in love with the game of football. So then I became a football coach, a college football coach, and I actually really loved it. You know, loved the sport, got into coaching college, coached at a bunch of small colleges and things like that. And I actually thought I was going to die coaching on the football field. I ain't going to lie. I had no ambition about being an athletic director. I thought I was going to be that 70-year-old guy hollering at somebody about not making their coverage or not making their play or block or whatever. But it just didn't work out that way. I had actually ended up getting into administration. I had a great athletic director at Payne College who was like, we had football, and then we got in some financial trouble at the university, and they dropped football. And so I was the only coach that they kept, and they were like, hey, you used to coach track. So they made me the head track and field coach. So coaching track and field for about a year and a half, and the AD was like, hey, you're good with the NCAA rules. Our compliance lady just left. And so I become the assistant AD for compliance. And so then she's like, you're really good at this. You need to be in administration. I said, I don't want to be in administration. I'm trying to find me another coaching job. And she said, no, there's this AD job I want you to apply for. And so applied for the job, got it, didn't know anything about Little Rock, Arkansas, and moved to Little Rock, Arkansas, and kind of fell in love with being in administration. And then my buddy called and said, hey, I got this coaching job. I need you to come with me.
Decisions.
And so I left an AD job after about 3 years and went with him to coach. And I said, yeah, this is the last one. This is the last coaching job. I'm going to go back to administration. had an opportunity to go to Louisiana, be at Xavier University of Louisiana, be the executive director of athletics and recreation there. And then when this job came open, I was like, ooh, Division II, as a vice president for athletics. I was just completing my doctorate. And I was like, yeah, I really like this administration thing. And so I thought it would be a great opportunity. I like working at Catholic colleges because Xavier was a Catholic university in New Orleans. And so I felt like it was a good transition here at Walsh, and they were doing some really good things. And I kind of had my eye on Walsh over the years. You know, there were a couple head football coaching jobs that passed me over a couple times, you know, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, you get to be the AD instead. You know, that's what it was meant to be. So.
It sounds like you were a guy that's always kind of been in the right place at the right time, even though you kind of weren't really trying to pull the administration and and all that towards you, but you were just kind of there like, hey, we need you to do this, we need you to do that. But now it's like what's going on here on campus is just a special thing. So I think the community is glad to have you here now. Somebody that has that passion. I'm glad to be a part
of it, man. I'm really glad to be a part of it. I'm glad to be a part of what the coaches have got going here. We've got a really great family atmosphere, and that's one of the things that when I came on the interview, that was apparent. And then getting a chance to meet with Dr. Collins, he was just infectious, and it was awesome. You know, when I was sitting in the room, I was like, yeah, I want to work for him. And so, you know, having those two aspects, getting here and then seeing this weight room, seeing our facilities, seeing how they had a plan for growth, seeing how athletics was important to the university. And important to the community because, like I said, when we got here and
it's not that way everywhere, is it?
It is not that way everywhere. When
People I got in Northeast Ohio and Stark County should be very lucky and fortunate. I mean, it is a power here, but it's not that way everywhere.
Not at all. Not at all. And so it was a blessing. When I got here and had the opportunity to be here, I just loved it. I fell in love with Northeast Ohio, and we love Walsh University, me and my wife and my family. My son is actually going to be a freshman here next year on the football team, the baseball team. And so we're all in. We're all in. We're swords up.
I love it, man. Swords up. TJ Downing here on Stark Media Live inside of the Cecchini Center, inside of this beautiful weight room here on the campus of Walsh University, joined by Nate Cochran, joined by Tom Bojalad. We're going to talk to him here in just a second. I want to give a shout-out to a couple of our special sponsors out there, Cross Country Mortgage, Hilsher Clark Electric Company, and the Eagles FOE 190. So, Tom, for those that don't know you, I kind of got a chance to catch up with you a little bit. You're a Big Ten guy at heart. You just got finished up, graduated from Penn State. You were a thrower there. And, you know, I know people might get a little worried about you around here, all the Buckeyes around town. We got to worry about the Wolverines coming down here and invading us. I just saw that Coach Harbaugh was over at the No. Fame a couple weeks back.
Sure was.
We got the Nittany Lions invading.
Yeah, but we're unrivaled, you know.
Okay.
That's our tagline. No,
we're glad to have you here, man, because
absolutely.
I've already talked to Coach Fank. He was on episode 1 with us, and you guys can all go back and watch that on our YouTube channel. But I know that him and I both know the key to this game.
Yes.
It happens in here in
100%.
May, June, July, going all the way back to January, February, and you bring the energy to these guys. I know everybody's happy to have you here.
I appreciate that. No, it's extremely important. And while I was at Penn State, I honestly thought that I was going to be a strength coach. But towards the end of college, kind of freak out. I need a job.
Yeah.
And I knew throwing. But luckily in college to help me even get that job, I had plenty of strength and conditioning experience. Mm-hmm. Starting my sophomore year, I started working with the other events in track and field just for like a 12-hour internship class. Started working with men's volleyball, everything up to last year. I was with men's basketball full-time all year. If I wasn't a tracker in class, I was at the basketball facility.
Okay.
Or coaching women's tennis, whatever. And then basically right up before regionals, I believe, up until the day I moved here, men's football.
Yeah.
Which was an awesome, awesome experience. So just seeing at that high of a level how everything is ran and the importance that the weight room is to a culture like that. Because that's lots and lots of money being dealt with there, lots and lots of importance. But the culture, it starts here.
Yep.
That's what I tried to bring here because there really was none when I started. So
I know that I believe a friend of mine, one of my partners here at Stark Media Group, JP Simon, he said he may have saw you sneaking around up. Was it at LaCharles Bentley's? Did LaCharles Bentley have a strength camp up there or some offensive line stuff? I don't know if you've ever kind of seen the different equipment that they're out there selling now. I know my former teammates Bobby Carpenter and Anthony Schlegel, they have the difference, which is kind of where you're punching in here, and then there's some certain shields out there that are different from back when you and I played, and you know, it was just it was very basic, but now you have these different specialized things for the weight room that you can attach to these beautiful racks. I don't know if that's something you guys have ever gotten into for your offense and defensive linemen.
No, that's not something we've gotten into. The one thing that I was able to take away from my experience at Penn State, which is really just the basics are the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you can't do the basics well, you don't need fancy stuff quite yet.
Yep.
But believe me, if we had all those fancy toys, I'd love to use them. We still have plenty of fancy stuff in here we haven't got to yet. So just basic barbell movements, free weights, teaching people to move with their bodies. Because movement's the biggest thing, right? Not just if I have a freak in the squat rack that can load up a barbell and rep it out a million times, if he can't move on in that field, it doesn't matter. So teaching, being athletes first, not just weightlifters. Knowing how to move their body, do basic movements, be able to actually move through a full range of motion without something snapping and cracking and popping. So
some of your base stuff that you're doing, obviously coming from a thrower's background, is really it's explosive, right? You're doing a lot of explosive things inside this weight room, and when you say stick to the basics, like I see a lot of these kids out there now on social media, and they're all taking videos and posting them of them lifting and doing a hang clean, and I'm like, that is not a clean. Like what you're doing is like going to ruin your back. First of all, you're not getting any work out of this thing. But talk about some of the things that you've really implemented that are like musts that we have to do well, and we're going to gain in these numbers.
So, like you said, the hang clean, right? Olympic lifting with throwing, it's a very similar experience. Throwing and Olympic lifting, can't really have one without the other. Throwers always Olympic lift. I was fortunate early on to learn them the right way. And a lot of coaches, I feel like, are afraid to teach them because it's so complicated. They're scary. They're dangerous. It's probably the safest sport that you could actually do, weightlifting. But doing those things, cleans, we've done jerks here and there. Probably won't get into snatches a whole lot. But doing cleans, not just doing them, but doing them right. So we're not putting more weight on until you can execute it the right way, rather than just being a monster and throwing stuff up and hurting yourself. Because again, if they hurt themselves in here and can't be out there, what's the point?
What are some of the things you really kind of miss about training? I mean, that was, we get it's hard with football because you got your 10, 11, 12 weeks, whatever. If you get to a postseason, you get to a bowl game, whatever it may be. But then there's so much time just centered around this. And you can't just do the weight room stuff without doing the conditioning and the running. And, I know you were probably so you got the cheetahs, you got the lions, and then you got the big elephants. You were probably right in the middle there. You were in the lion workout. But you guys, I mean, with some of your fondest memories really of the off-season training?
I loved the weight room. I was a weight room animal, and that was my thing. I used to bring a certain level of intensity in the weight room, even to this day where my wife doesn't like to work out with me. So, but for me, I used to attack the weight room like I would attack all my other workouts. And so for me, there was always a certain level of intensity and a certain mindset that had to come with coming in the weight room. And so I missed that. I used to like training probably more than like playing.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact that there was a certain level of intensity. You could attack the weights. You saw the progress. I liked how my body looked. And I carried down on after I stopped playing, because of the fact that I just like being in the weight room. I didn't do the running part as much afterwards, but like I said, for me, the weight room and that intensity and what we did here translated to what we did out there. And you could see the difference in how you played and how you performed based on what you did in here. Those folks that didn't do what they were supposed to do, it showed up on the field.
Yeah.
That was when you were getting rocked.
Tom, you mentioned, or we just heard Nate say that, he was kind of a leader in the weight room. Who are some guys, since you've taken over this position and gotten to see this kind of full phase from, winter through spring ball into now, which you guys are, a week or two into your summer conditioning phase?
Yep.
Who are some guys on this football team that you've seen kind of step to the forefront as leaders?
The obvious answer that comes to mind is David Rhodes, who I believe you've had on before, but he's a freak. He's a monster, but he holds the other guys accountable, but he brings energy, the energy that you talked about, and that's what I love about the weight room too. And I think looking at both of you, you get it. But
I haven't gotten it in a while. I've been absent for a couple of years.
That's it.
And that's the one thing that I think people get twisted about Division I, Division II, whatever. These people are still athletes, freaks of nature, and we have that on this team. Someone like him or Cameron Macon, who I believe is only going to be a redshirt freshman this year.
Yep.
Okay.
He's someone to look out for. He's a freak. And we have plenty of other athletes that I haven't been here long enough. I'm still learning names even.
Yeah.
But those are the first two that come to my head. Plenty of others that are learning how to work, learning how to apply their athleticism.
And I know that takes time. I mean, when you're kind of the new guy, right, you're trying to learn all those familiar faces real quick, people that you're going to be seeing on a daily deal that you're working with. For you, I mean, how's that transition been? I mean, is there anybody that's really kind of stuck out? I know that Christina Payon does a phenomenal job, but somebody that's just really been like, man, I can lean on this person. This has been a rock for me and really have helped me kind of navigate learning all these people that make up a Division II powerful, university.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, my administrative staff has been top-notch. Christina Payon and Holly Grover really kept the department together in the interim. When Jason left, and like I said, he did a tremendous job setting the department up, getting us compliant, and there was all of those things. And he left those two in charge, and they did a tremendous job. And when we added Dave Gramlich for business operations, he's a wizard. He keeps everybody's money straight.
Yeah.
He keeps all our budgets straight. He's full of ideas, and so he really helps me. And then, like I said, adding Lauren Lewicki, who was our former women's soccer coach, who moved into the compliance role. She and I are both compliance people at heart, and so we think alike a lot. And so between those four, they really have been, like I said, those have been my go-tos as far as making sure the department just keeps running smooth. I can't say enough about Steph Caddy, my administrative assistant, because, one, this is the first time I've had an administrative assistant, but she is absolutely awesome because she brings so much institutional knowledge, having been here since the days of Jim Dennison. And so
Legend.
she's seen all of our athletic programs go. She's seen the university go. She knows where, she knows how to make things move across campus, and she's, invaluable to me. So,
Yeah. For you, I don't know if it was like this way for you, but anytime I heard there was a compliance meeting coming up, it's like, oh, man, you start sweating a little bit. Like, did I do something wrong? Is everything in order? It's like getting the call from the tax man, right? When you're in order.
Honestly. Yeah.
IRS is equal to the compliance. But, your experience with, dealing with compliance, and there's so much that goes on that people don't understand about when you're playing college athletics, when you're involved in college athletics. It's a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff that, for me, I can see where you would just want to be a football coach. Like, man, there's so much to go on there. And you're just like, hey, do I want to do that, or do I want to focus on what I know here? I know this weight room in here. But what are some of your fondest memories from being there on campus in Happy Valley? Not the compliance meeting.
Not the compliance meeting. No, and that's a great point, is while being there, still being an athlete, but also working with the basketball team, for example, doing this or that, being there all day, you start to see all these things, and you realize, like, how big of a business this actually is, and like how many moving parts there are in order to make this successful.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And your respect for your coaches, your leaders, everything just goes up tremendously. For the maintenance guy, you understand how much goes into making the university a positive experience for each student athlete. How much goes into that. So
I remember Jim Tressel telling me, he was my coach down there at Ohio State, and then he went on to become president there at Youngstown State. And he said, if I would have known what it was like to be president of university back when I was a coach, I'd have been way nicer to my presidents. Because those are the things. There's so many moving parts, when you're at the top. And you see, for you, all the varsity sports that you guys have here, what has been the one that you've really been around through this first 6 months? It's like, wow, man, like I see the passion and the drive from whether it's these ladies or these men that are representing the Cavaliers.
Oh, and, it's been just that, because I gained some sports here that I haven't ever had.
We were talking about that with lacrosse.
Exactly. So with men's and women's lacrosse,
You've been
perfect
sitting
example.
in on meetings.
I'm sitting in on meetings to figure out how lacrosse works.
What's going on out here?
And I have to give it to a couple of lacrosse players because they were coaching me up in the back. Almost got in trouble because the coach was like, are you guys back there talking? And then she saw me sitting in the back, and she was like, oh, okay.
You can talk to him. That's all right.
But, literally, I'm like, okay, so what happened? And what are we doing? Because these are sports that, I have never been around. I understand track and field. I know football. Most people have been around basketball. But we were adding stunt. We're adding sprint football, which is traditional football. It's just for the little guy, you know. And so just adding some of these different sports that we've never had, I actually traveled with our golf team because I had never been around a women's golf team that played as well as ours did. They can definitely play better than I can.
Christina did a great job with them too.
They were amazing.
She does a great job with men's and women. Yeah.
Yes. And so, just being able to be around these different sports and like I said, our athletes are competitors. Mm-hmm. They are here and they put their all in it. Just because we're Division II and we're not Division I doesn't mean that they are not putting out a great product. And they do a great job. Our men's basketball team had a great season this year. Didn't get as far in the conference tournament as they would have loved to, but just seeing those guys compete, seeing our women's basketball team compete, You know, I can't wait for the fall because I got here in the winter. So I'm so excited to see the rest of my sports.
You're a football guy at heart, too.
You know it.
JY just had great numbers over here for the, I believe it was 3rd to 8th grade camp, or it was just the
40
youth
to
camp?
40 to 60 kids here every day this
Yep.
week. And
Great numbers.
they've been doing a great job with them. Some of the players are out there coaching them up. You know, Garrett does a great job with those young kids, and I see him in there every day coaching them up.
Yeah.
You know, and so when you see your student athletes who are great on the court, then working with these kids, you know, that translates. You know, that's an investment in our community. It's wonderful to see.
Also got to be cool for you to see that, you know, your son now competing, right? And he's graduating high school now, and he'll be here in the fall.
Yep, he'll be here next week for orientation.
I mean, that's got to be pretty cool, right?
Oh, I'm so excited. I am so excited to have him here. I was trying to talk my oldest. He just graduated from Kentucky State, but he's got 2 years of football left and 1 year of track. And I was trying to get him to come to grad school here, but I think he's going to stay at Kentucky State. But, you know, just great to have one of my sons here in this environment, being around, you know, this competition. He's going to love this weight room because I was telling Tom that my son, he was actually a 3A state championship. They won a 3A state championship in strength.
Nice.
So in South Carolina, they have strength meets. And so he can bench the house and he can squat a little bit, and he's got a little standing long jump. So I'm proud of him because he likes the weight room like I do. So
that's what we're going to put on for next year, and I'm gonna put both of you guys on this with me here. It's going to be a Stark Media exclusive. We're going to do it right here inside of this weight room. We're going to get local high schools from around the area to come in here. We're going to have that strength competition.
I
because
love
I
that.
think that's something that I know other states are doing it. We should be doing it around here.
We should.
As big as it is. So, you know, for you guys both joining me on here, I appreciate it. I know it's new, getting used to everything, and I'm really excited for you guys too, and to be able to see tailgating here and be a part of it, because it just happened this past year. So it's still so brand new, and the community gets wrapped around behind it because, as Coach Fank told me when we first shot this episode over at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, said, you know, the worst part of this deal was always having to get on a bus for a home game. And we got to leave and go somewhere. And now you don't have to do that. You get to walk out underneath the tunnel. You get to feel the energy. You get tailgating over there right across the street. Right. This place is going to be on fire, man. I'm really excited for both you guys. I'm excited to be a part of it here, come down and really kind of give the Walsh Cavaliers and this university the coverage that it deserves. So
TJ,
for you
we
guys,
really appreciate you, man.
It's going to be exciting, right?
Yeah, it's going to be great, man. We really appreciate you, too, spotlighting us and coming over here because you do a wonderful job. And, man, I just really appreciate all that you do for us. It is going to be so exciting to be out there for that first tailgate. I got goosebumps
Thursday night, too. Thursday nighter.
Yes.
Only game in town.
Let's
go.
That's it.
All right, Nate Cochran, new athletic director, new strength coach here inside of this beautiful new facility. Tell people how they can get in touch with you if they would like to put their name on this building and where these kids are going to be every day.
Look, you can reach me here either by by number, by phone, or by email. You can reach me in Cochran at walsh.edu, or you can reach me at 330-490-7437. And you, by all means, you can put your name on this wonderful strength facility. Or that stadium over there, too. So
there we go. You got the number. You got the email. Make it happen. TJ Downing for Stark Media Live with Nate Cochran, Tom Bojalad. Appreciate everybody joining us today. Make sure when you're going over there on social media, the YouTube channel, like, share, follow, subscribe. Make sure to go and patronize our partners, too, as well. That's Cross Country Mortgage, Hilsher Clark Electric Company, and the Eagles FOE 190 in downtown Massillon. All right, that's going to do it for us here for now. We'll be back with a third episode. When we come back next time with Coach Fank, we're going to break down this great recruiting class that he had because they did a phenomenal job this past offseason. And the one thing that really sticks out to me is some of the local flavor. Big defensive tackle, Alvanti Ivory from McKinley, and the Federal League Player of the Year, Will Butler from Lake. So we're also going to check back in with Rhodesy because it sounds like my boy Big Dave, he's leading the weight room. So I got to have him back on as well. So we'll be back with more after this. Appreciate everybody joining us here from the Cecchini Center on campus here at the Walsh University.
Swords up.
Swords up.
Swords up.
Power outages can happen at any time without warning and can leave your home powerless for days. Hilsher Clark has partnered with Generac to bring you the #1 selling home standby generator brand, engineered and built in the USA since 1959. With a home standby generator, your home will never lose power again. Generac generators activate automatically in the event of any power loss and restore power to your home within seconds. Don't leave your home unprotected. Trust only the best. Hilsher Clark's residential division are experts in their profession and go above and beyond to provide you with quality, efficient service at a fair price. Starting with the estimate, they keep you informed regarding status and completion of your projects. They also give you shorter arrival windows and send you email and text confirmations of your scheduled service appointment, as well as notifications when their electricians are on their way to your home. Hilscher Clark's Google reviews speak for themselves, with more than 270 reviews and 4.9 stars. And if you've just recently purchased an electric vehicle but don't want to rely on public chargers to keep your battery full, Hilscher Clark has all the juice you can handle for your home vehicle charging needs. Hilscher Clark is a certified Q Merit Solutions partner, making them market leaders in electrification and recommended by local dealerships. Visit them online at www.hilscher-clark.com. That's HILSCHER-CLARKE.com. Or stop down and see them at 519 4th Street Northwest in downtown Canton. Or contact Hilscher Clark today at 330-452-9806. That's 330-452-9806. Remember, it's your home, it's our family. Trust only the best. Hilscher Clark Electric Company.
McNeil & Sons Tree Service serves the greater Northeast Ohio area by keeping your property clear all year round. Do you have trees that have stretched too close to your home? A rotted tree that has to go? Or perhaps even storm damage? No job is too big or small for McNeil & Sons. We specialize in large tree removal, storm damage, stump grinding, land clearing, and more. McNeil & Sons Tree Service is fully licensed and insured, so contact us today at 330-606-1126 for all your tree care needs. Or visit us online at mcneiltree.com to schedule your free quote. The professionals at McNeil & Sons can inform you of your tree health and give you a risk assessment to keep your family protected. So call today, 330-606-1126. McNeil & Sons Tree Service, a company you can depend on with family you can trust.
At C.H. Vallis & Associates, we've been proudly serving the greater Stark County community for over 78 years. Locally owned, we cover your home, auto, business, and life insurance along with your group benefits. Our partnership with auto owners has allowed us to span not only Ohio, but throughout the entire country. Did you know that Auto Owners, an A++ rated company by AM Best and a Fortune 500 company, has ranked C.H. Vallis & Associates a top 10 insurance agency in the state of Ohio? From your basic home and auto needs to insuring some of the largest companies in America, there's a reason people choose C.H. Vallis & Associates and Auto Owners. Our dedication and passion for our clients and their coverage is part of our commitment to excellence. For all your insurance coverage needs, there's only one call to make, and that's C.H. Vallis & Associates, located at 1302 South Main Street in North Canton. Contact us at 330-494-2776 today and see the difference in customer satisfaction.
The Fraternal Order of Eagles number 190 in Massillon wants you. Stop down to the Massillon ARE at 303 Wyrick Boulevard Northwest. And like our over 1,800 members experience daily, your Eagles membership will give you access to great food and drink specials. Having a party? Host it in our banquet facility and seat up to 400 people. When you're coming through downtown Massillon, stop by the Eagles and sign up. And for a small fee, you'll have access and be a part of a fraternity that donates over $100,000 a year to local charities. The Fraternal Order of Eagles ARE number 190 in downtown Massillon. Stop by or call us today at 330-832-7385.
Chris McCready's and his team at Finally Hear Hearing Aid Center in Canton offer up over 30 years of experience for their customers who are hearing impaired. Head over to their website at finallyhearohio.com and schedule your free hearing aid test and evaluation today. They're a best of the best award-winning company that prides themselves on customer service. Stop down and see them at 1201 30th Street Northwest or contact them at 492-1212 for an appointment. And thank you for sponsoring Stark Media's finallyhearohio.com Player of the Game.
The leader in quality drivetrain components, H&H Truck Parts is a name you can trust. Located in Valley View, Ohio at 5500 South Cloverleaf Parkway, H&H can handle all your heavy-duty truck needs. Come in and exchange your transmission, differential, or power steering gearbox. But that's not all. H&H is equipped to handle all your parts needs. Permco pumps, Muncie PTOs, Neapco U-joints, Spicer yokes, new Eaton clutches, and more. Let the professionals at H&H Truck Parts handle your transmission or differential installation in one of their 6 service bays. Special
Specializing in drivetrain repairs, stop by and have your drive shaft balanced, flywheel resurfaced, or your clutch installed alongside the best transmissions and differentials on the road. You know why they're the best? Because H&H is Ohio's largest purchaser of Eaton Fuller parts. Need a blower or a pump? H&H distributes Paragon and Permco brands. Names you can trust with your livelihood on the road. Call H&H Truck Parts today for the leader in heavy-duty truck parts and service. Call locally at 216-642-4540. Toll free at 800-601-4540 or check them out online at hhtruckparts.com. You came to Stark Media for the best? Well, now you got it. Check out Lindsay's Pizza on 2827 Whipple Avenue Northwest inside of the Hillsdale Shopping Center. The preferred post-game pizza of the Stark Media team is open until 11 p.m., and it has all the essentials for game day. Pizza, chicken, salads, and sandwiches are just a click away at lindsayspizza.com. But you should trust the former Ohio State All-American and just call them right now at 330-477-3800. 477-3800. This is TJ Downing for Lindsay's Pizza, and I approve this message.